Check, check, mic check. Check, check, mic check. Disappointment. Oh, you couldn't have done, you shouldn't have done, you wouldn't have done the things you did then. This is the song that has been playing in my mind on repeat. This song by the Cranberries from 1994's No Need to Argue. One of my favorite albums from the 90s, the decade that probably most defined this podcast boss. Oh yeah, hi. Welcome to Podcast Envy. I'm Andrea Klunder, your podcast boss. And yeah, disappointment. You all, I have been bursting at the seams with this podcasting secret. My production team for Power Your Story made it to the top 24 finalists of the Google Podcast PRX Creator Program. Yeah, we had an interview with them and we were inches away from one of those 6 coveted slots for teams to be chosen for up to $40,000 in funding, plus awesome mentoring opportunities, and we didn't get it. Truth be told, I feel like a deflated balloon. Power Your Story, if you don't know, is the show that I produce with a group of high school students from a diverse learning school in Chicago. And I thought that this would be a perfect fit for the Google Podcast Creator Program because it's all about diversity, finding diverse up-and-coming voices in podcasting, connecting with new audiences. And we had a great vision. Still have a great vision for the potential for Power Your Story. It's already been an awesome program for this group of students. We have a very small, loyal listening audience, and we've done a lot of great things. And we really wanted to expand the vision for this show, working with the students who have been honing their craft and learning these skills over the past couple of years. And we wanted to create something that would be a useful and fun and vibrant resource within the disability community for young people. And apparently the powers that be thought that that was an awesome opportunity as well. Top 24 out of over 2,000 applications that they received. That is pretty remarkable and something to be proud of, I guess. But it also sort of just feels like, well, almost. You can hear more about Power Your Story in a couple of interviews that I did recently on other people's podcasts. So Anne Fricke's Walking with Freya and Carrie Caulfield-Arick's Just Podcasting. I will, of course, link up to both of those interviews in the show notes for this episode and at thecreativeimpastor.com/podenvy044. It's an awesome program. Of course, please check out Power Your Story. I have a bunch of episodes that are in the queue waiting to be finished editing and get out into your ears. And so, okay, one disappointment down. It sucked, but moving on. Wait, double whammy. The organization that does fund the current version of our show pulled the plug on it for the summer session. And I'm not totally sure whether we'll be back in the fall or whether the program might have run its course and be totally done. So the wind got knocked out of me, and then in the same week, I got kicked when I was down. I have to be totally honest with you. This program has been the only thing I have been excited about since my surgery in March of this year. It is the pillar of what gives my work meaning and purpose. Okay, it's not just that. All of my work has purpose or I wouldn't do it at all. But this was an opportunity to do something really great, to make something that would stand out. And this double whammy really brought me to my knees. Actually, it was more like a sobbing heap on the floor of my apartment. I think it may have even been raining outside that day. Not this podcast boss's finest hour, for sure. I know. I need to take my own advice and not get distracted by those big, bright, shiny objects being dangled before the eyes of us indie podcasters who are trudging away over here. As my senior Power Your Story podcast producer, Aaliyah, said when I delivered the news that we were not selected, there will be other opportunities. Just let me know when you find the next one. Honestly, ever since then, I have this loop playing in my head. Every time I'm going over my own sad sob story, I hear the voice of Seth Godin. You know Seth, right? If not, go subscribe to Akimbo right after you finish listening to me. And here is what Seth keeps saying to me in my head. Stop waiting to be picked. What does that mean? Okay, on his blog, he writes, it's a cultural instinct to wait to get picked, to seek out the permission and authority that comes from a publisher or talk show host or even a blogger saying, I pick you. Once you reject that impulse and realize that no one is going to select you, that Prince Charming has chosen another house, then you can actually get to work. In one of his many fabulous books, What to Do When It's Your Turn, and It's Always Your Turn, he has a page that says simply, avoid certainty, pick yourself, postpone gratification, seek joy, embrace generosity, dance with fear, be paranoid about mediocrity, see the world as it is, be the boss of you. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm creating my own opportunities, picking myself and moving on to the next thing. But I'm still sad. If all of that sounds like what you as a podcaster want to do, the culture you want to be a part of, picking yourself, doing what matters, and doing it your way, and if you don't want to do it alone, I invite you to join me for the first ever Podcast Envy VIP Circle. The VIP Circle is a mastermind community of podcasters who want to make an impact to improve the world and do it by creating a damn good podcast. Podcast Envy is all about not just the how-tos of podcasting, but really the culture of podcasting and how that shapes our experience as content creators, listeners, and community members. We'll be exploring topics like voice training, email opt-ins and engagement, creative ways to interact with listeners, storytelling as content strategy, and really whatever else you want to focus on. This first group will be by invitation only, so there is an application form if you are interested, and this is the only time I will ever offer a $29 a month rate to join this circle. I'm asking for a 3-month commitment to try it out and really give this community some teeth. That is less than $100 total investment. What do you have to lose? That $29 rate is for the first 5 founding members. Say that 5 times fast. Through the end of June 2019. Intrigued? You can learn more at thecreativeimposter.com/VIP circle. Also linked in the show notes for this episode. And I have one more really big, exciting, disappointment-free announcement. I have been gifted 1 free pass to the first ever She Podcasts Live, October 11 through 13, 2019 in Atlanta. And this pass is not for me. I already bought my ticket ages ago. It's for you. Maybe. This giveaway is in honor of National Best Friends Day. Weird, right? I didn't know that was a thing. And is only valid right now through June 15th. I have 1 pass to give away for She Podcasts Live, which is the only podcast conference specifically created for women and by women in podcasting. It's going to be 3 days of speakers, swag, introvert parties, extrovert parties, and the best thing is that nothing will start before 10 a.m. So yep, you get to have your beauty sleep or your brilliant sleep, or whatever it is that you get when you're sleeping. Okay, so how do you claim this 1 pass that I have to give away? Number 1, check your calendar and make sure that you can get to Atlanta October 11 through 13. Number 2, and this is the fun part, send me a short voice message about how your podcast, my podcast, or someone else's podcast has changed your life, turned on a light bulb for you, or helped you in some significant, big or small way. You can record a voice memo on your phone or get fancy and make it a podcast-worthy MP3 and email it to Andrea at thecreativeimposter.com, or you can send me a voice message via Facebook Messenger, or if you happen to know my phone number, you could just do it the old-fashioned way and leave a voicemail. Just text me first to let me know that you are about to do that so I don't answer. You must send me this voice message by noon Central Standard Time, check your time zone, on Saturday, June 15th. Like, you could send it now, while you're thinking about it, just do it, or anytime between now and Saturday, June 15th, and I will select a winner that afternoon. Seriously, your chances are so good because hardly anyone ever leaves me voicemail. Thank you so much to Jessica Kupferman and Elsie Escobar for providing this amazing opportunity for she podcasters. And if you are, in fact, a she podcaster, I definitely cannot recommend enough not only the conference, but the Facebook community that Elsie and Jess have for us, and also the podcast called She Podcasts that provides tons of industry insight, culture, ideas, support around your favorite topic and mine, podcasting. Coming up in the next few weeks on Podcast Envy, an insider look at what it's like to work with me as a producer. I'm talking with Andrea and Brandon from Key Change, creating opera for all voices, and also what it's like to record a podcast inside a vintage Canadian ambulance decked out with professional microphones. I'm talking with Lucas Spivey of Culture Hustlers. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to getting some voice messages from you and happy to answer any questions you have about the Podcast Envy VIP Circle. That's VIP for Very Important Podcaster. Podcast Envy is produced by your podcast boss, Andrea Klunder. That's me. The Podcast Envy theme music is by Valentin Sosnitsky, courtesy of the Free Sound Project at freesound.org, and our podcast Angel music is by Benjamin Mastropolito, also on freesound.org as Lemon Cream. All music is licensed under the Creative Commons. Our episodes are mixed by Edwin Ruiz, and hey, if you want your show to sound as good as ours, hire us. Put the magic audio mojo of the Creative Imposter Studios to work for you. Thanks so much for listening, and here's to making your podcast the envy of everyone else.